Yo. All right, so we made this thing, does stuff. If you didn't catch what happened before this, you can go back. That's really loud. We basically just made a thing that changes sound using Tone.js so that we can test out different types of synths and what they sound like and listen to them. I think the first thing we're going to do is build a button because this is maddening. So let's go back up into this and we'll say, we'll add it to the bottom. Div, and then button, class, button, ID, toggle, and we're gonna have to toggle classes. We'll have play, span, pause, span. Class button, let's just default it to off, which means green. So is success should be the right thing here. Cool, so we have a green one that says play pause. And so then I'm gonna write CSS for the first time ever in this project. Thanks, Bulma. All right, so we have our toggle, and we'll just say when it is active, span last child. What's happening with active here? When it is active, we want last child to be visible, first child to be display none. So we'll say first child display none, and then we'll say not active span last child display none. Let's see. All right, so then if we go in here and we say we don't know how to do JavaScript, so we're just writing this. What the heck? This totally, hold on. That was funny. Let's see what happens here. There we go. We are not redoing this. Doing it live. There we go. All right, so if we go in here, now I need to go back to QuickTime and we need to do all the stuff that we have to do all the time, and it's a big pain. Float on top. Why does that stop working? Do you know what the deal is? Because I sure don't. File, edit, view, float on top. Hey, there we go. It's working. All right, so anyways, if we go in here and we say button is success, now we are going to say active. All right, pause. See, that's what this is doing right here. First child display none, not active, last child display none. Perfect. Wow, it just can't handle my video right now. All right, no video. Totally cool. All right, so we're gonna hide this. And next, we will say this dot, no. We'll do all of our DOM stuff down here. Let toggle equal document dot query selector toggle. And then we will say toggle.add event listener. Click. We get E, and then we will say inst.toggle. Booyah. Okay, so now let's go up to go up here and we need a toggle function. And we'll say if this dot playing tone.transport.stop. Actually, this dot playing equals this dot playing. If we are now playing, we want it to start, else stop. That should be fine. 1 second here. I know it's really not that big of a deal for me to not be visible, but this is driving me bonkers. Let's see. Can I use photo booth? View. Oh, it's not going to work. It won't stay on top. See? Hold on. You know, when you have a machine, and it's a really powerful machine, and yet at the same time, it is incapable of doing what you want, it can be very upsetting. All right, so let's see how long this goes before it totally fails. All right, so sorry about that. Toggle. We have our toggle here. We're saying this dot playing equals not this dot playing. So that means if this dot playing is undefined, that'll be true. Then if it's true, it'll be false the next time through. So let's run this and you'll see what I mean. Cool. So now all we need to do is say we need to improve these conditions here because we still need to we are not going to do that here. We're just going to do all of our DOM stuff down here. So let's just make a thingy. If toggle.classList, let's just say class name.match is primary, that's the green, then toggle.classList.remove is primary, toggle.classList add is danger, else, same thing, but the opposite. That should change our button color. Okay, you know what? Instead of this CSS stuff here, instead of active, we are just going to use is success. Is dash success. And instead of not, is danger. Huh. That's going to be so much. What? What am I getting wrong here? Let's do this. Toggle.classList.toggle active. Some of you out there are probably like, I know exactly what the problem is here. Pause, play. We have it messed. We have the inverse going on. Maybe that's what the problem was. Some of you are yelling at your computers right now, and rightfully so. Just have both classes on it right now. Is success. Is primary. You all are so mad. Toggle class name match is success, then we want to remove it. This is what happens when you don't think when you code. Perfect. Okay, wunderbar. And yeah, we'll just leave active. Active has a different meaning. It has a different intent. We're good. Okay, so what we wanted to do was modify these settings right here. So we have envelope, which everyone has, but then we also have harmonicity and detune only when it's an AM or FM synth. So that's good to know. Let's start with envelope, and then we'll get to harmonicity and detune. And then if we really feel like it, we can dig into modulation. Yeah. All right. I think the easiest way to do this is probably going to be to just write it all out and then toggle disabled or not disabled on them. So let's start with the envelope here. Let's give us some space. Div class field. Div. So we're building ourselves a little GUI here. And you know what? Bulma slider these are Bulma extensions. What is Bulma documentation have for us? Form, input. That slider was not an official Bulma thing. We could just use input range, I guess. Of course it is not on the page. Yeah, I guess we could just use a range and then we'll update a little span. Let's quickly go to field. Where are you, field? Layout, column, form. Maybe it's just general. Whatever. We want to do multi-line fields. Or I guess it's multi-line. No, single line. Multiple fields in a single line. Big difference. Field add-on, it's not add-ons, it's there's control group. There we go. Field is grouped, then multiple controls. That's what we want. Field is grouped, multiple controls. So field is grouped, and then we'll have a range for the thing and then the output. So let's say div.control, and then we will say that this is going to be our envelope attack. So input type is range, min is equal to 0, max is equal to 1, step is equal to 0.001. All right, there's our range, and we're going to say ID envelope attack, right? And then we'll have div class control span ID envelope attack value. And we'll just say class is tag is dark span. That's fine. Let's just see what this gives us. What happens when we say like class equals input? Does this like do something in Bulma or no? Wow. Actually, you know what? I don't hate that. I do not hate that. That's fine. We're just gonna, that is so fine. Yeah, input is full width. What is the, oh, we're gonna say value is getting out of control. 0.005. So we're all the way over here at 0.005. What sucks is that, like, you want to be able to adjust the attack at a fine grain scale, but the bigger it gets, the less it means. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna select this. We're gonna just do this programmatically because this is getting ridiculous. Let's say we have div class field. It isn't grouped, and we'll give it an ID of envelope settings. Booyah. All right, so envelope settings, that's our field. We're just gonna go from there because that shouldn't be a field. We're just gonna say, whatever, we'll leave it for now. Envelope settings, everybody. Function build setting, and that setting is going to take a build slider, and it'll take setting name. So in this case, it would be like envelope.attack min. No, we're not even going to do that. We're just going to do setting name. That's fine. Let input equal document dot create element. This is the dumbest video. Input dot set attribute range type is equal to range. I feel like you could do input dot type equals range, whatever. Input. No, it's not. It's not an input. That's the whole reason I'm doing this, everybody. You're supposed to catch me, and you didn't. We're creating a select. Let ops equal 0.001, 0.005, 0.01, 0.05, 0.1, 0.25, 125, 0.25, 0.5, and like what, 0.675? That's enough. See what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to build a select for each one of these, like writing it in HTML. So we're just going to build it with JavaScript here. This kind of pattern, it's hard to reproduce. Oh, wait. HTML input range specific values. That's a thing, isn't it? Input range step is an array of values. No, it's not. At least not in 2015, which is the current year. No, just kidding, it's not. Data list. List, input range list. List equals tick marks. This is exactly what we want. We want input type range. ID is start. Where's list? Show me the list. Data list. Yeah. Okay. This is what the doctor ordered, everybody. We don't need to do this. Let's just undo everything we were doing. Value is 0.05. List equals values. Whatever, right? List equals that. Then we make a data list. Data list values. Oh, and then we did want a 0 in there. That's right. So then option. Oof, that did not work. Option value equals delete over doink. Yeah, baby. All right, then we just close out our data list. And then this can be reused all over the place. So let's see here. I don't even know. I don't need min. I don't need max. I don't need step. Can I even say what the value is or no? All right, so let's just see what happens on change with this thing. What do we call it? Envelope attack. Let envelope attack equal that val equals envelope attack value. Might as well spell everything the same way. No truncation. Okay. Add event listener change. Nah, input. Why not? Envelope attack value dot inner text equals dot value. What's our error? Where is our error? CodePen, website that I work for. Didn't even need to give me an error. It was that bad. Okay, so now that is not using our list. That is not using our list. Values. Data list ID. No browser fully supports these features. Read. All you have to do is read. All right. So what it's going to be is max equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be 9, whatever. We're not going to use a data list because it is not the future yet. If any of you know what's going on, you deserve an award. Value is 0, min is 0, max is 9. Step equals 1. When that changes, oh sweet Lord. Okay. There's our that. Let's paste that back. 0, 9, 1 range doink. The reason I had to go through that whole process was so that I did this, because we need to know these values. That steps equals this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 9. Okay, so let value equals steps parse int and then let's see what happens now. Oh yeah, there we go. So now it's an index, if that makes sense, right? Value dot to fixed 3 will give us 3 decimal places. There we go. So basically what I did was I have the range representing the index in an array here. So steps is right there. All right. So now all we need to do inst dot update. It's going to be a new method, update envelope, and we're going to just pass in attack equals value. Perfect. Update envelope. Your patience is incredibly helpful. Attack. For now, we'll just have it take attack. And we'll say if attack, this is not equal to undefined because it can be 0. This dot synth dot envelope dot attack equals attack. There it is. Can you hear that? Perfect. All right, so we got the basic foundation what we're doing. Now it's going to be really quick. So we have attack, release, decay, and sustain. So we need to do the same thing for each of these here. This can go away. I think what we need to do, we need to set the attack. We need to actually send this stuff in envelope and say if synth type do that. No, it's totally fine. Update synth type, and then we'll pass in envelope there. You'll understand in just a second here. So when we update the synth type, we're going to take that, we're going to take the envelope, and then we will say settings dot envelope equals settings dot envelope object dot assign settings dot envelope and then envelope passed in. So we'll merge anything that's coming in into settings dot envelope. Oh baby! So this turned into much bigger pain in the butt than we anticipated here. That's totally fine. So now what we're going to do, let me hide this. What we need to do is we're not even gonna set that value for now. We're gonna say, let me say update, and then we'll pass in attack and value. So then an update here, we need to provide our new settings. And then those settings can take attack, sustain, gotta look at them specifically. Decay and release. Goodness. Decay, release. No, we'll just pass in the actual envelope, which will default to this because we're merging it later. So we don't want to actually provide anything unless it exists. All right, so we'll pass an envelope into inst.update, envelope attack, then we're going to have decay, decay, sustain, and then release. Perfect. So now here, let's just say label. Okay. Attack. We're not going to set that anymore for now. We don't even need this group stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Attack. Okay. Sustain. And then finally, release. And so all of these things do the same stuff. So we should just be able to change that to sustain. Release. Passes in the release value. And then finally, decay. Oof. That was a pain. We're there though. All right, that's the correct order. Attack, decay, sustain, release. Let's make sure nothing breaks. So now what we need to do is we need to actually preserve these values for when we change the stuff up here, which is a bit problematic. So this is what we're going to do. Yeah, let's do it. 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 Yep. So we'll take that. We'll take that. And we'll just say update. Screw this whole idea. We're going to say equal that. That didn't work. Multi-line can sometimes be, as you guys know, but envelope. There it is. Every time we update this thing, we set everything. When in doubt, set everything. Time constant must be greater than 0. What are you talking about? We're setting it prematurely? Is that what's going on here? Since we're setting this, we don't need to steps inst.update. Let's just log before we do anything in here. Let's just console.log envelope. I'm so sorry, everybody. This took absolutely forever to get practically nothing done. We're setting it to 0. So let's set these default values to like, so attack will be index 1. They'll all be like index 1 or maybe 4 for sustain. Release will be like 1. Let's see. Oscillator of undefined. Oscillator of null. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I think that's happening because we commented this out. Touchdown. There we go. And instead of input, we're only going to do this when these things change, because that was, let me just knock this up. What is, that's 7 in our HTML here. Let's make the release 7. So we actually get some sound. What were the default values? 0, 1, 0, 1, 1 sustain. It's my sustain needs to be bigger. Okay, so sustain will just be 9. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's quickly review what we're doing here. I'm going to add 1. And then the max, we're going to give us the ability to go all the way up, 10. Sorry, this might have gotten confusing, and there were definitely periods where I just stopped talking altogether. Let's do one last thing, because that has been no fun at all. For each of these labels, we'll give it an ID. Actually, we'll do it a better way, 4. And then we'll just have a span inside of each one of the labels, and then we'll populate that with the value. So when we update these we're going to do this. We're going to update, call that for sure, but we're also going to say label for envelope dash, oh my gosh. Oh, this is so ridiculous. Sorry. We're gonna just roll with it though. Because why not? Internet's fun. I wish I could decapitalize. Alright, so there is document.query select door label for our thingy dot inner text. Ugh. We need to select the span inside the label. Span inner text equals this dot value or steps. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy, isn't it? This is silly. We're gonna do it every time. This isn't gonna be optimal, but we're gonna do it every time for everyone because, you know, we're friendly and we just want to do that. So instead of this, oh my gosh, query selector, envelope, dot that. The problem was that we're setting these values down here. I didn't have them up there. So we'll just do it for every single one. There we go. So now we get our little thingies in here, which works. All right, let's add just one little label here. Label for synth type for oscillator type. And finally, oscillator partials. 4 maps to the ID of an input. And so we're associating these labels with their inputs, which means we can click the label and it focuses the input. Label for each of these need a class of label. All right, we did it. We're doing this. Let me just go ahead and console.log, remove this. All right, thanks so much for sticking with this. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe you learned how normal it is to not know what you're doing and to research things and have them not make sense and then think that they do mean something and that certain HTML elements exist but they really don't exist. Anyways, this is fun. I'll put a link to this pen in the description so that you can check it out. And yeah, awesome. Talk to you later.